When most people think of the Venice Carnival, they imagine a parade of elaborate masks drifting through narrow canals and historic squares. But Venice Carnival is far more than a parade. For centuries, it was a season when identities disappeared, social rules softened, and the city transformed into one enormous stage. What people usually mean is the Carnival of Venice, or Carnival di Venezia. Rather than a single parade, it is an entire festival held before Lent, built around masks, costumes, theater, rituals, public celebrations, and spectacular performances. Today, the most famous events include the water parade along the Grand Canal, the historic Festa delle procession, and the elaborate ceremonies staged in and around St. Mark's Square. The Carnival remains a citywide celebration of Venetian traditions, performances, sweets, music, and above all, masks. The origins of Venice Carnival can be understood through two different stories. The first reaches deep into antiquity. Historians often connect carnival traditions to Roman Saturnalia and Greek Dionysian festivals. These celebrations encouraged disguise, role reversal, revelry, and temporary freedom from ordinary social expectations. The second story is specifically Venetian. Historical records show evidence of carnival activity in Venice as early as 1094. Then, in 1296, the Senate of the Serenissima officially declared the day before Lent a public holiday. At that moment, Carnival became more than a custom. It became an official civic institution. During the medieval and early modern periods, Carnival evolved into something far more significant than a celebration. Masks created anonymity. Nobles, merchants, artisans, and ordinary citizens could mingle in ways that everyday social rules normally prevented. For a brief period, status became less visible, but Carnival was never completely uncontrolled. Mask makers were already documented in Venice by 1271, and their guild eventually received formal recognition. Authorities also imposed strict regulations. Masked individuals could face restrictions on where they traveled, when they appeared in public, and how disguises could be used. Carnival was both freedom and surveillance, liberation and control. By the 17th and 18th centuries, Venice Carnival had reached its golden age. Visitors from across Europe came to witness a city transformed into a living theater. Masked figures wandered through grand palaces and crowded streets. Private residences became dance halls. Street performers entertained crowds. Gambling houses flourished. Even Venice's famous Ridotto gambling hall required visitors to wear masks. Disguise had become woven into daily life. The entire city performed a role in one of Europe's most extraordinary spectacles. Several iconic mask styles emerged from this unique culture. The most famous was the Bauta. With its distinctive protruding chin and white face, it allowed the wearer to speak, eat, and drink while remaining anonymous. The Moretta was a black oval mask traditionally worn by women. It was held in place by a button clenched between the teeth, forcing the wearer to remain silent. The Gnaga represented playful social inversion. Men dressed as women and wore cat-inspired masks, parodying social expectations. And then there is the famous plague doctor mask. Although now one of the most recognizable symbols of Venice Carnival, it originated as protective medical equipment worn during outbreaks of disease. Only later did it become part of carnival imagery and folklore. One of the oldest surviving traditions is the Festa delle. According to Venetian tradition, the story dates to the year 944, when a group of brides was allegedly abducted during a wedding procession and later rescued by Venetians. Whether viewed as history or legend, the event became deeply embedded in the city's identity. Today, 12 young women participate in the modern Festa delle. One is later chosen to become the Angel of the Carnival, descending dramatically into St. Mark's Square during the famous Flight of the Angel ceremony. The carnival's story was not continuous. After the fall of the Venetian Republic in 1797, public carnival celebrations and widespread mask culture largely disappeared. For nearly 2 centuries, the tradition remained dormant. Then, in 1979, Venice officially revived the festival. The modern carnival was carefully reconstructed using historical traditions, masks, ceremonies, and cultural memory. It was both a revival and a reinvention. Today, Venice Carnival combines heritage, performance, and tourism. The modern program includes mask workshops, theatrical productions, street performances, costume competitions, and spectacular public ceremonies. The famous water parade fills the canals with traditional boats. Historic processions move through the city, and St. Mark's Square once again becomes the symbolic heart of the celebration. The result is not one event, but many interconnected spectacles unfolding across Venice. A few surprising details reveal just how unique this festival once was. At its height, carnival season could stretch for weeks, beginning shortly after Christmas. Venetians even had a traditional greeting for masked strangers. Buongiorno, signora Maschera. Good day, Madam Mask. Food also played an important role. Traditional sweets such as frittole and galani remain beloved carnival treats today. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect of Venice Carnival is that it was never merely decorative. It was a ritual of anonymity, a space for transformation, a carefully controlled season where identities blurred, social boundaries shifted, and Venice briefly became mysterious, theatrical, and unforgettable. For more stories from history's most fascinating cities, subscribe and join us on the next journey.